Yo. It's Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
And we're in the building, and we're feeling ourselves, and I am here to bring you Grapsody. I'm Will Washington, and I'm happy to be a part of what I would like to call a Fatal Four again. And because I'm not alone here, there's also Mr. Phil Lindsey.
What's going on? Good to be here.
And we also have Righteous Reg.
In the building, as always, double R, dumb cookie cutter. You know the rest. Yeah, what's up?
Yes, but also in the building, we have a special guest with us. It's our good and dear friend, Mr. Andrew Thompson.
I appreciate y'all having me on, man. It's always a good time to link up with you brothers, man. I hope everybody's doing well and it's beautiful. What is it? I think we all in different time zones right now. I think noon Eastern right now. Hope y'all feeling good, man.
Are all 4 time zones? I think all 4 are represented here. I got Mountain Time. Yeah. We have. I'm like the only Mountain Time, right? I'm a Mountain Time. We've got Pacific over this way. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, Pacific down here, and then we got Central, and we got Eastern represented. Look at that. Wow. All 4 time zones represented here.
Hey, I want to ask you, Denver Nuggets fan.
Yeah. That's...
What you think about Jokic shoulder checking?
Okay, Morris? So first off,
that was... it's beef, bro. The whole fam's in on this.
So here's the thing. I watched that live, right? Because everybody else saw that on Sports Center highlights and whatnot. And the second that happened, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be all over. Nuggets hardly ever make national news, right? Unless something happens. But I'm like, oh, that's gonna be all over everything tomorrow. The second it happens, and sure enough, it was. Look, okay. Obviously, you don't do the no mercy hit run button hit push B shoulder tackle, which is what it looked like to me, right? You remember when you in no mercy you hit somebody from behind with the shoulder tackle. That's exactly how they fall over. Obviously, you don't do that. However, man, turnabout is a little bit of fair play. I'm glad he didn't get a 5-game suspension. I thought it was going to be 5 games, and it was only 1. He played last night. Nuggets beat the Hawks. It was a nice win. And which was surprising, though, because Trae Young looked good out there, but somehow Nuggets just ran all over him. I think they had the lead once in the game. And this is our regular basketball talk because we're basketball fans, folks. I know this is a wrestling podcast, but this is how this is going to go.
I think my favorite part about it was Jimmy, come on, man. Come down.
And they find Jimmy for that, too.
Jimmy wanted all the smoke, man. He's like, come on. Come down.
And that picture of them when they went to the locker room and they're all and you can see Jimmy in the back yo, who back there? Let us in.
The crazy thing was I'm trying to figure out what Morris thought was going to happen. I'm not saying his intention was to knock his knee, but he threw his whole or half his body weight right into Jokic. Yeah. So I'm like, how do you think this dude is going to react when you trying to take him out? And then you got Jokic's brother making threats on Twitter.
Right. Essentially say you don't want this.
Yeah, exactly. and you have Morris's brother hopping in it too. So I can't. I'm telling you, they need to do an NBA All-Star weekend. It need to be the Jokic brothers versus Morris brothers. Yeah. Go ahead, let them work it out like a Triller boxing fight type thing.
Run it.
It was something. But I'm glad Jokic got to come back. Had another double-double yesterday, as he usually does. And, yeah, it's good. It's a good season so far. I know Phil's happy.
Yeah, just the monkey ball of Chicago sports. The team is good, but you've got Scotty out here making a fool of himself. What are you doing? Just the monkey paw that is Chicago sportsdom.
Scotty's there's way too much Chicago Bulls regular season talk, so let me talk about what we did. Or what I did specifically.
Yeah.
I did better than Mike.
I need Pip to relax, man.
But then
everybody's trying to get them interviews too because they know he gonna talk some mess about Mike.
Yeah.
Like, yo, come talk.
Yeah.
Come talk.
But then, Reg, you're a Warriors fan, right?
I'm a Warriors fan in Oakland.
Then, I mean, they went from I
don't even have to say nothing.
They flipped the standings upside down from last year, right? They went from
Steph Curry is just, I don't know what this man's been eating. I don't know what he's been doing, but sheesh.
Y'all gotta stop disrespecting Steph, bro. Y'all gotta stop disrespecting
I think that's
him, man.
Probably what it is.
Yeah,
he kept hearing the disrespect. He's like, they just keep disrespecting me. I'm about to show them.
Yeah, stop disrespecting that man.
Like, the crazy thing is with Steph, like it's like he like y'all don't even have like a complete team yet. Like y'all don't have Clay. Like once y'all get Clay back, I'm telling y'all gonna be y'all already an issue. But now when y'all get him back, it's gonna be crazy.
Didn't he just break Ray's record too?
He did. Pretty easily. He did not struggle to do it.
Yeah. So obviously, we basketball fans have a lot to be happy about this season.
It's a tough season already, man.
It's already there, right? Like, just a lot to be happy about. Speaking of which, I do want to address, as I mentioned last week, I said I wasn't going to be here this week, but turns out I am, because I mentioned I was going to be at Paul Griffin's wedding in Houston, but as it turns out, the pandemic's still a thing, and COVID's still out there, and one of my family members has it, and it wasn't any of the people traveling, but it just felt irresponsible traveling. So because at that point, like all my childcare situation, all that stuff is like all flipped on its head, and so at this point, I was like, I made a last minute decision. I will say this though, props to companies who, as soon as they hear the word COVID, are like, full money back. Like, don't matter what penalties we told you, because, you know, I had like, there was supposed to be a penalty on canceling my hotel reservation. I said COVID. They were like, we'll give you all your money back. I was like, all right, cool. My rental car, same deal. They were like, well, there's a cancellation fee. And I said COVID. They were like, actually, there's no cancellation.
Right. They're just like, don't bring that shit over here. Don't bring that shit. You can have all your money back. Just don't come in.
Yeah, they were like, oh, COVID, money back. So, word of advice to people: if you're having trouble with refunds on anything, just remember, COVID saves money.
Hey,
use those words wisely.
Let this be a lesson. You know, again, word to the homie Lupe. Type pace. Take your punk ass home. If you feel like there's an issue, take your ass back to the crib. You do not have to travel. You do not have to try and risk it. Stay at home.
And that was the thing was I thought, you know what, like I'm sad that I'm gonna miss everybody. As a matter of fact, shout out to Rob with the super chat. I was gonna see him at the wedding, and he said, "God damn well." Also, the word of the flatliner being our move is spreading.
It's spread. That's spreading. The black move now. That's ours. We're taking that.
I did see El O'Neill's tweet that out. It's the black move. So
yeah,
it's becoming part of the culture.
Yeah, good job. Yeah. So like I said, I'm sad I don't get to see all the people I wanted to see, because literally a lot of it was going to be a gathering of people who know each other from the internet, and that's always a dope thing. So I'm sad I got to miss that, but I'm at home and I'm with my dudes, and
it's Grapsody Saturday, baby. We out here. We out here.
But hey, I want to let everybody know that we do want those super chats, so please send us your super chats. Give us a thumbs up on this video right here, because any positive feedback or reinforcement you give this show is always a great thing. But yeah, we want to see those super chats, so hit us up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Fightful. And yeah, we talked some basketball today. Obviously, I'm in a basketball mood, but this is a wrestling show, and we're going to be talking about some pro wrestling.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot, right? So here's the thing. I recognize that a lot of people watch and listen to this show on Sundays. Sometimes we get people who are talking about it or we get feedback on Mondays. People watch and listen throughout the week. So I recognize that this first segment is going to sound dumb as hell to a lot of people in just a few hours. And shout out to Matt, sending out thoughts and prayers to the good sis Jessie Davin on her procedure. Have a great show.
Yes.
So Jessie, one of my closest friends, she had a procedure yesterday, and an emergency procedure, and just good thoughts. Send her your good thoughts and everything that's going on with her, because it's scary times. And shout out to Tyler with the super chat for my favorite brothers in the industry.
We out here.
Thank
We
you.
are very much out here. We got the guy Drew back, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Andrew
I'm
Thompson
excited.
is in the building.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm like excited to do a show with Andrew Thompson. Like,
Oh,
this is
man.
like,
Man, hey, if we're giving our guy his flowers, man,
Have to.
I saw my man doing a lot of stuff with Fightful way before, I
Right.
did a single interview, and I'm like, man, this guy, he's the man. And so,
That's how I found out about Fightful is Andrew Thompson.
exactly.
So.
I don't feel like in a lot of ways that we're here without Andrew. So.
No way at all. We started, I thought about podcasting when I podcasted with Andrew Thompson and Phil Lindsey, and I just knew that one day, someday, somehow, we'd all be podcasting together. So, Drew, as always, we appreciate you. You're an incredible talent, man. The interviews are the best. You're just out here, man.
Why y'all tugging at the heartstrings, man? It's too early. It's too early. It's too early. It's too early to be shedding tears, man. It's too early, man. It's too early. Nah, bro. But in all seriousness, though, I'm really happy for all three of y'all. Like, y'all doing some amazing work, each and all of you together, and collectively and individually. Like, I've just gotten to get familiar with Will as recently, and Reg and Phil. Of course, I know you guys for a couple of years, but it's exciting to see all three of you doing this and making this thing pop like it is. Like I said, I say some of the numbers on YouTube chat. Y'all trying to run the guys out the building, man.
I mean,
Hey, man, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Man.
Balling, putting numbers on the board, man. I don't know. We just out here.
all right.
sure,
But
man.
like I said, this first topic is gonna seem a little bit dated very quickly, because there's a big pay-per-view happening tonight, and it's Full Gear.
It's huge.
It is happening live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And there's a lot going on with Full Gear. It is a full card. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Fightful's Rob Wilkins for pointing out the fact, because this is a cool little factoid, that today is the 16th anniversary of the passing of Eddie Guerrero. And Eddie Guerrero passed in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Wow.
On the night of a Super Show taping that WWE was doing, which, like, I'm talking about this because it feels like yesterday. Literally, I've been podcasting so long, literally, there is an episode in existence of RBR where we talked about the death of Eddie Guerrero. Check that out, rbrwrestling.com. But sorry, my cat keeps crawling up on my desk. Sorry.
I feel like your entire family is just gonna make a cameo. By the way.
Right, seriously, one by one. The cat's like, today's my day. I'm in here.
Like, they just decided to bother me on this episode, so I'm like worried they're gonna knock over the camera. They already my ring light over here. They've already like tilted it to the side. So if you're wondering why I'm lit from this angle, that's why. But anyway, so the Eddie Guerrero thing. So the Super Show that was being taped that evening was at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the home of Full Gear tonight.
Right.
On the anniversary. And that's just a cool little fact, because there's no way they planned that, obviously, because Full Gear was not even supposed to be tonight. It wasn't supposed to be in Minneapolis. It was originally going to be in St. Louis, and then but last week's UFC show ended up causing them to decide they didn't want to be up against it, and because of the way pay-per-view slotting works,
right?
You typically, as any company, want to have the top pay-per-view slot with pay-per-view companies, with any of the cable providers, and zero chance AEW was going to get that slot over UFC.
No.
It just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And they would have been bumped to, like, I think the third or fourth slot, and so they moved to this week.
Oh, there was that boxing match too. Like, there was no way. They couldn't.
Yeah, there's no way. And so they moved to tonight, and luckily with tonight at the Target Center, they just happened to be open. So it's the home of the Timberwolves, and yeah, it's also the home of SummerSlam 1999. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure that was because that was Jesse the Body Ventura, Minnesota. Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot going on tonight. It's a full card, and probably one of the more exciting cards of the year. Like I thought All Out was that card, but I'm really feeling this one. I feel like from a match perspective, just going up and down, there isn't a whole lot I'm like not into. Like really quick, there's been preview show after preview show of Full Gear, and I will say that as far as we're concerned, we don't have to dwell too much on the matches, mostly because Full Gear is like in a few hours. A lot of people are listening to this. This will basically be for a lot of people like, were these guys correct on a lot of this stuff? And hey, I want to give a couple of shout outs to some super chatters. We got Jester Designs saying, "Fix your hats,
fix your hat."
Fix your hats when you come out.
Please fix
and your face.
hat.
What's up, y'all? We also got Joseph Snirk says, "Love the show, guys. Keep up the excellent work." And an extra shout out to Phil for repping LIA.
Hey.
That's hard.
And then we also got our boy D-Lo. He says, "Do you guys think they will have someone show up?" I don't know that they have to tonight.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much else going on. I don't know that they need to.
Maybe they just want to have one show where no one shows up.
Yes, yeah.
You know?
That's kind of what it feels like. I mean, this show, it seems like it has such a good build to it. Like it's like, do you even need like that big surprise? So you could just save it for Revolution or for one of the specials.
Well, like let me think about this. Last year's Full Gear didn't have anybody show up, I don't believe, but they did have someone show up the night after, the Wednesday after, because that was when Pac returned. And then the year before that, I don't think anybody showed up at Full Gear either. Like Full Gear seems to be kind of like the let's pay off some feuds kind of show. And then the Wednesday after was like when Wardlow debuted. So like you can do it has major angles, and like there's always been major title changes and stuff. And pulling up the card here, because I could probably do it off the top of my head, but I don't even want to try. We have there's I believe 10 matches tonight. 9 on the main card. There's going to be Cody Rhodes and Pac versus Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo. There is Christian Cage in Jurassic Express versus the Super Click. CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. Make a pick, you guys.
Kingston.
I think Punk's winning.
I'm going Punk.
I think Kingston might. I think Punk might pay Eddie Kingston back for the years of what feels like real grief and give him a victory. It feels like the way that Punk, the promo that Punk gave, it almost would be weird if he beat him. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I was right. You are a bum. And I don't know if that's really, I don't know if that could work, but I mean, we'll see.
I feel like Punk has been doing this I'm happy to be back tour for quite a while now. And I feel like it's only a matter of time before we get angry, grungy, heelish Punk back. And I feel like this could be the start of that. I don't know if, it'll happen right away, but I feel like there's a slow burn heading to that.
Yeah, I definitely think with Punk, like Phil said, we're starting to see that slow burn. It's a CM Punk starting to get agitated, and I think Eddie Kingston is like the perfect foil for that. Like the person who's going to like send him over the edge, and we start to see hard body CM Punk a little bit. And, and the thing is, like with Eddie's promo when they had that great segment on Rampage, I think it was Eddie said, "I don't care about winning or losing." And that's what makes
pretty important. You're right.
Y'all know how AEW is. They like with their promos and just with their segments, stuff doesn't just happen just to happen.
No,
we can even touch on like just slightly like when Adam Cole had the conversation with Hangman. We all know at some point that's happening. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna look back. We're gonna have a video package where we see them two facing off. This is the first time they faced off. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. And just with Kingston, when he was like, "I don't care about winning or losing. I'm just gonna beat you up." I think that's gonna be his whole thing coming into it. Was just like, let me beat down CM Punk, and if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. But either way, he's still gonna be a different man at the end of this match. So I think that's Kingston's mindset about it.
Right. Will Washington is back.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I just had to get rid of them cats.
I thought one of them cats had backflipped on your keyboard.
No, I was like, they're like pulling on. So I got a window right here, and they started like pulling on the blinds, and I'm like, all right, get out of here. There's no way. No way I could continue doing this show. Yeah, so I feel like as far as Kingston's concerned, obviously he has made the line that he doesn't care about winning or losing. He just wants, he needs Punk to get checked a little bit. I actually like the line of "You don't get to be a changed man until you faced me." That's real shit, right? Like when somebody wants to apologize to you and you feel like, that's all fine and good, but like you still got to get these hands before I'm willing to forgive any of that. I love that.
That video package is so good.
It's so good.
Really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we also have Darby Allen versus MJF. A lot of people are kind of quickly picking MJF in that one because like that seems like the go-to. I actually think it's Darby. I actually think that this may be like the most decisive loss that MJF takes because like all of them have had some kind of controversy that allows him to say, actually, I didn't lose by whatever rule it was. He lost to Moxley, but Moxley wasn't supposed to use a paradigm shift, so MJF still claims he's undefeated. And then with Jericho, it was Jericho. The decision was reversed because of the foot on the ropes, and then it's same here. I think this is going to be a decisive win for Darby Allin. I think Darby actually comes through and just beats MJF. That's my thought. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think MJF's going to go over. I don't think he's going to lose here and for a while. I think Darby, MJF's just on a higher trajectory than Darby is at the moment, and I feel like they think that too because MJF gets way more time than Darby does. Like Darby's just chilling in the wings like Sting, so. But I could see it going either way just because both of these guys are the guys they feel like, for AEW. So it'll be interesting to see what the result is.
What about Lucha Bros and FTR?
Just to heat up a match either way.
I think Lucha Bros are winning.
Right.
Yeah, I do too. And I think that, again, I think I said this last week, but I love the idea of with FTR and the Bucks going back and forth so much over who's the best tag team, and the Lucha Bros will have beat both of them when the titles were on the line. I think that's one of those, like, if you ever wanted to give a huge rub to somebody, that to me is one of the best ways to do it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm about to say with the Lucha Brothers and FTR, I think that's gonna be one like not necessarily a sleeper match, but I think there's just so much on the Full Gear card that's one of those matches that when it comes up, people are gonna be like, oh, I can't wait to see that. And then they facing off at the AAA, the Triple Mania show next month. Yeah, they're doing a rematch for the AAA World Tag Titles, and I think that's when the Lucha Brothers probably gonna get those titles back too. So it's gonna, they probably just end up winding back with all the championships again.
And a few of these are like rematches, right? But like the cool thing is when they happened the last time we saw them, it really did feel like, okay, that was good, but let's see it when it gets in, pardon the pun, Full Gear.
And then the last one started with that swerve with them in the Lucha Gear. So this will be like, we know what's happening. It's going down. Let's fight.
Yeah, because we also have everybody's favorite angle, Inner Circle versus Men of the Year. I swear I was dying because Reg talked about last week. There's always like an Inner Circle like segment, and
never fucking fails.
Jericho got dirt on Tony Khan.
He do, man. He got
dirt on Tony Khan, bro.
He got some nasty pictures of him. No, honestly, it's just that stupid. It's just that stupid theme song, man. That's why. It's like we have to play this song. People want to sing this song, and people want to sing this dumb song. So.
And they do. Like, you know what? Because there was a debate over it. But now that crowds are back, there's no debate. I think that is the most over theme song of all time.
It is.
In that people want to sing it. People
like they don't even care about the man that it's attached to, but they're like, we love this song. Like, as soon as the song's out, they're like, all right, we're bored.
Like, it's literally like if you want good heat in an arena, obviously all you have to do is cut the song off. Like, because they'll be partway through it, and then all of a sudden you cut it off, and them fans like are mad. Like, we didn't get to say Judas in my mind.
Right.
Jericho's not my fave, but I will say the song's over. And so credit where
what's this match gonna be?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting is we have the Falls Count Anywhere match on the card already. I'm curious what the street fight is going to offer differently than the Falls Count Anywhere. I know what the Falls Count Anywhere match is going to be. It's going to be the Jerry Lynn specialty because like that's one of the best things he's done in AEW, right? Like he was the man behind the non-sync or the Lights Out match with Brit Baker and Thunder Rosa, but he was also behind the street fight, the parking lot street fight with Santana and Ortiz and Best Friends, and he was also behind the Butcher and the Blade versus the Young Bucks. Like we know,
okay, Jerry Lynn.
Yeah,
okay,
that makes a lot of sense
okay.
now. Actually, I didn't know that, but now he's ECW, and like 90% of his matches in ECW were brawling in the crowd, so it like makes sense that he's
like Jerry
bringing
Lynn
that over here.
He brings that to the table.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So yeah, he's like honestly, I think AEW really like snatched up a gem in Jerry Lynn when it came to like having somebody who knows how to put together that kind of match. And so as soon as I saw they were doing a Falls Count Anywhere match with the Jurassic Express and the Super Click, I was like, oh, it's the Jerry Lynn match. It's like this is the match Jerry Lynn got on the card. And this is the one he is probably I could just see his notepad right now of all the ideas he's got to make sure that there's like some fun spots in that one. So
I got a question for y'all. What bump is Dan Lambert taking tonight? What crazy thing they gonna have? Dan Lambert is doing something crazy in this match.
Right, I feel like he's gonna try to for the culture, but I don't know.
I
don't know what it's gonna be. I don't know what it's gonna be.
Moonsault off the top rope.
He might,
Shawn Michaels crown jewel style off the top rope.
He might hit a corkscrew.
I'll say the only thing I'm like truly looking forward to about this match, or just in this feud, because I know it's not everybody's favorite feud. A lot of people are down on it. I truly do think, and because there's a reason I think, and I've said this before on the show, that they keep teasing confrontations between Scorpio and Sammy, but they haven't actually had the one-on-one. They keep signaling that that's where Scorpio's headed. I do think that ultimately this feud ends with him taking the TNT title and being the one holding it with American Top Team. And shout out to a couple of super chats, by the way. We've got Kimberly. She said, "Happy Saturday, guys. I'm excited to be watching Full Gear with my dad, who watched All Out and got sucked back into pro wrestling."
Yeah. Damn, that's dope.
Yeah, and I'll tell the story when we get to number one because I tweeted it already, but it's a fun story when we get to our number one. But Ronald, he said, "Hello, any chance post Eddie Kingston and CM Punk Kenta shows up as he's not scheduled for Battle in the Valley?"
The points are being made here. The points are being made here.
If this is the start of people who have grievances with Punk,
I'm into it. Right.
You about to take a walk down CM Punk's pass.
I changed my mind. CM Punk is definitely going over because I forgot about Kenta. I totally forgot that Kenta made that challenge. So, yeah.
And shout out to this.
I could see it.
I was about to say, and Kenta got the U.S. belt too. Do y'all think that New Japan would rather have that match on their platform as one of the strong shows, or do you think AEW is probably going to end up snatching that up and be like,
"Oh no, AEW"? Like, think about the fact that like the U.S. Or the Intercontinental title. No, wait, it was the U.S. The U.S. title, like in general, like it changed hands in AEW. Like, if Tony can make it happen on his platform, he's gonna make it happen. So we also have super chat from Ronald. He says, any chance Chris Jericho gets taken out tonight in the street fight, being Fozzy has a 2-week straight UK run at the end of November
Thank
beginning
God.
of December.
Jericho on TV.
Can you guys go on a full tour? Because
get my man off of commentary on Friday.
Oh
please.
My God!
Please get him off commentary.
I thought when they got Ricky Starks in place that it was like, okay, now we could phase out Jericho,
right?
And instead, y'all didn't do that.
Last night it was extra. I didn't like it last night. Yeah, it was too much.
Especially during the women's match. I feel like when Red Velvet came down and jumped in, like he was trying to scream over Starks, and it was just like, "What are you doing, bro?"
Right.
Yeah. Wait. Sorry, we got a super chat here from Rob. He said Craven Knight on Dark. What? Like, is that who 10 faced? My dude, Craven Knight? Like, why did I not hear about? Hold on, I have some texts I have to say.
I heard that Frontman Jaw was on there too.
Oh, I did see big frontman Josh C was there.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Yeah, I saw Josh C was there too. Wait, like, just all my dudes are just getting, man.
Yeah. It's not AEW Dark for nothing. We know it.
Yeah, hold on.
I got on the Dark.
Hold on, I gotta text Craven because, like,
I was say last week they had Tootie in on.
Tootie,
Tootie was on last week.
That was hot.
AEW, man, they like the thing about Dark is, bro, it's like the most simple concept. Like, and even you're just scouting talent. Like it's like so simple, bro. Like just bringing the local people or just bringing the big names in, and then like, if you don't want to sign them, you can kind of just keep an eye on them. But like, hey, you want to come back next week? You know what I'm saying? Like it's I don't get how at that one point somebody in WWE did not think about this. Like it's ridiculous how simple it is, bro, to have something like this. And then you got this Rolodex of talents, right? And then if you be like, oh, I actually like them, sign them to a deal.
Right.
Like, well, and usually
easy as that.
Usually, in order to work Dark, you do have to sign some sort of retainer deal. I know in the last year, because of the fact that they ran into that problem of people working, because it was Ben
Carter.
Ben Carter, yeah, who, he basicay caused them to make those guys like, hey, if you're gonna work Dark, like you can't sign anywhere for like a month.
Where the heck is Ben Carter? Like nobody talks about this guy at all.
In NXT UK, his name's Nathan Frazier now.
He just had a match this week with Tyler Bate, maybe, I think. No, Mark Andrews. Sorry,
Mark Andrews. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't see it, but I'm sure it's phenomenal. He's on NXT UK. That's why you don't know, Phil.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
And then shout out to Eloquent. Said,
shout
y'all
out
just
to the
wanted to
homie
show
Eloquent,
love.
man. Always showing so much love online. Dope brother.
And then just a couple more matches. There's Bryan Danielson versus Miro. I think that probably opens the show.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Miro on the mic is just like, I don't know what he's been eating also, but he's been killing these promos, bro.
What a career turnaround, bro.
Right.
Like what a turnaround. Like that is amazing. Hey, can I ask y'all something? Like what do y'all think that this I was kind of circling back to the Kingston Punk match. Do y'all think at some point we was heading towards Danielson and Punk versus Kingston and Moxley at some point?
I think that was supposed to happen, honestly, because I was thinking about the timeline of things and how the Eddie Punk promo from last Rampage was supposed to happen on Dynamite. I can't help but wonder if that match was supposed to happen on Rampage last week. And because all of the Rampage matches kind of got put together last minute, and that was a live Rampage. And I
that would have been a good sell.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been a good sell on as far as tickets were concerned, but then like everything kind of fell apart. But I do think we were going to get that tag match probably sooner than later. And yeah, so apparently, I see now. So I guess he wrestled under Brandon Knight against Scorpio Sky. I am checking out Dark no matter what. I always watch Dark because like it's the easiest watch on the planet for people who complain about it. Like literally, it's a background YouTube watch, and like you'll get some cool entrances. On occasion you'll get a match that delivers. And a match that like will showcase somebody that you probably weren't expecting. Like that was I think about Dante Martin versus Lee Moriarty, where all of a sudden it was just like, oh my God, these guys are just getting the show out on Dark. They got 6 minutes to do so, and they did it. And then maybe you'll just get a squash. But either way, it's like an easy watch that you just throw on in the background, whatever.
And you can discover so many wrestlers at minimum.
Yes.
Like, you're going to see people that you don't see, and that's dope. And they're getting a shot in front of a lot of people. Way more people than all of them have ever been in front of.
The thing is, people they try to like. I see people try to like lowball Dark a little bit, like make it to be like this like sort of minuscule thing. But like the overall point of it is, from an AEW standpoint, is to help your wrestlers get W's, and like that they play real big into the win column stuff. And then also within that, you're getting the spotlight some of the top talents, and maybe even some of the lesser known talents on the independent scene. It's like a win-win for everybody. And like every match can't be this 10-minute, 15-minute classic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they're
it's
dark
just 6
matches.
minutes.
I mean,
they're dark matches.
It's dark matches.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. They're just dark matches that they're putting on YouTube. I don't know why people get so confused by that.
It's called AEW Dark. Not because there's a bunch of niggas on there, but it should be called that because there's a bunch of niggas on there. Look, I just wanted to say it out loud, you guys.
Shout out to Life of Dean, by the way. Much love to y'all. After tonight, I need less Jericho. That seems to be the consensus.
We all need
Go on tour forever. Fozzy needs you.
Hey, y'all know what I'm looking forward to? The day when either Bowens or Max Caster has a match involving Jericho. Max Caster better unload everything he got, or Chris Jericho.
My friend was asking me yesterday because Anthony Bowens has.
Wait, just quick question.
Yeah.
What rhymes with January 6th?
Ooh. But he gonna have so much material to work with, like the 30K to Trump. The material this man's gonna have to work with is gonna be unbelievable, bro. I'm telling you.
But you can't. My friend was asking last night because Anthony Bowens has been in a bunch of singles matches. Do you guys know if Max Caster is hurt?
I don't know. That's a good
Because
question.
he wasn't out there during the lumberjack match last night either, and Anthony Bowens was there. Was he?
Yeah, he was out there.
I think he was. I don't think he hurt. I think maybe they just want to like showcase Bowens more, because like it seemed.
I mean, the Bowens matches have been fire.
And Bowens is a worker. Like if I wanted to have a singles match to put, because you know Jungle Boy and Brian are kind of getting showcased now as like these are the technical guys, right? So it's like who's the guy that you want to get in there that you can really have kind of a barn burner match, but at the same time kind of give them a decisive win. Like Bowens is somebody I would go with.
Right. He's good.
Really
good.
Bowens really come around.
Very good.
Ryan Sullivan sent us a super chat. He said, "People forget that the talents that start on Dark, Hobbs and Red Velvet to start."
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hobbs built a lot of wins on Dark, just smashing fools. And like Daniel Garcia, he only had a few matches, but he got hot on Dark. He was at the show.
Lee Moriarty.
Lee Moriarty, same thing. Yep.
Mike Harmeyer, shout out to Mike. He said, "I like Dark. It reminds me of WCW Saturday
That's a
night."
big reason why I like it too. Yeah, it just feels like a Saturday morning, just like wrestling matches, and they're just fun. You know, it's not complicated. Sometimes they have angles that lead into the show, but most of the time it's just like, here's some wrestlers wrestling.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, so the Darks they taped at Universal Studios in Orlando. Those shows to me feel a lot like NXT. Like, I thought it was a little funny how when and I mean like early NXT. I'm not referring to like current NXT.
Right.
Obviously, it's not bright. It's not bright enough for that. It doesn't look like a Double Dare set. But
they're not showing feet either.
No, they are not showing feet.
Because like there was a little bit to me when Adam Cole came out at the Orlando show. Or when he came out in front of the Universal crowd, it was like, this kind of looks right, and I can't put my finger on why it does in front of a bit of a smaller
I've
studio
seen
audience.
This before, that's why.
And shout out to Mac with the super chat. He said, "Pissed that I'm going to miss the show tonight because of work. Hoping that Tony doesn't try to get cute and have Hangman lose tonight." I mean, we could get.
I'm hoping he does.
Oh boy.
I'm hoping. So we got a couple more matches. Brit Baker versus Ty Conte. That's the one I would like to see somebody get cute with and maybe do a title swap.
I don't like how Excalibur saying this is her toughest test to date. I don't feel like that.
I mean, I think that's a little bit of like wrestling selling.
Yeah,
yeah.
Sometimes you don't have to. These are like WCW things. Like, this is the greatest match of all time. Like, it's not. It's just going to be a really good match. Just say that.
Yeah.
Hey, now for real though, you gotta get credit to Ty, man. Like
that's phenomenal.
Since coming to AEW, she's really like picked it up. Like she's been showcased more, and like I'm a big proponent of that, man. Like how could you possibly know if somebody could step up if you don't give them an opportunity to?
Right.
Like, it's no way you can find out.
And that's one of those that people were surprised when she got signed. They're like, she was just on NXT, not really doing anything, and now you see, you're like, whoa. She has a lot to offer.
Oh, and they're telling us in the chat that the Acclaim did wrestle on Dark this week.
Oh, okay.
So they teamed with 2.0. That's right. I watched that.
Sure did.
Did I watch that? I don't know.
I will say
there's a lot going on.
to the Excalibur thing. I think that they're trying to put over that she's the first like legitimate fighter that she's been in the ring.
That video package was real good.
And I think that's part of why he's saying that she's like the most dangerous threat. That's the only
thing. I'm like,
what
about Nyla?
Yeah, or Chris Statlander. Like,
but no, I get it. That makes sense.
Do y'all think the end goal for Brit is Thunder Rosa? Like that's like the
feels like
that's
it.
The end game.
Like I feel like Brit's gonna interfere in the match with Hayter and Rosa to set up the match and get Hayter.
There's a lot you can do that. Yeah, I was saying that. I don't know if you want to do like a quick title swap, like maybe a back and forth, because AEW's never done that. Like Ty wouldn't be somebody bad to do that with. And then you could break up Brit's reign a little bit, because nobody's ever been a 2-time champion in this company yet. And then main event, it is the AEW World Title on the line, the match that pretty much AEW is kind of written around. This is like the end of the chapter. Yes. It is Kenny Omega defending the AEW World Championship against the challenger, the number one contender, Hangman Adam Page. I'm going to read a super chat from Ryan, who says, Reg, if Hangman loses, I hope you're only able to wear Crocs for the rest of your life.
Come on.
Okay, that was harsh. Sorry.
You're going down, Hangman. I'm going to laugh in all of your faces.
No,
Kenny Omega's holding that title high at the end of the night.
You can't. This is one of those things where, like, you just have to. You remember? Remember watching The Dark Knight? And like at the end of The Dark Knight, where all that stuff is going down. Well, hold on. And remember where like he says the line, "Sometimes you just deserve to have your loyalty rewarded," and like Lucius Fox is watching the monitors all blow up. Like if Hangman loses, this is the opposite of that. This would be this would be like if Lucius Fox like did what he did, and then all of a sudden Batman just walks in and goes, "Hey, I'm keeping this technology. I'm gonna keep spying on people for the rest of my life."
Hey, man, the only reason
people deserve to have their reward.
Was saying like it has to happen, it has to be this, it has to blah blah blah. 2 years, blah blah blah. This isn't the last pay-per-view ever. This isn't the last time Adam Page is ever gonna get a title shot. This isn't it. Like if he loses tonight, it's not gonna be, oh my god, that whole thing was washed down the drain. No, that's not how pro wrestling works. On Wednesday, there's another show. On Friday, there's another show. And then there's shows all the time. He can win on Wednesday. He can win at the next show. But tonight, I think he should be able to lose.
It kind of is, though, because the thing is, he lost. I agree with Will, man. Yeah, he lost at All Out. He lost at the first All Out, right? And then he lost to Kenny last year at Full Gear. And then...
Deserved it.
But then
he deserved it.
But then in the big 10-man tag for his title shot, he also lost to Kenny there. Like,
what if Kenny Omega is just a fucking badass? Is all I'm saying. No one can beat him. And that's what it is. See, and somebody was like, somebody made some comments of like, it'll be like when this random person was champion forever. Way different, because every Kenny Omega match hit. The next one gonna hit. This one's gonna hit. The next one's gonna hit. The one after that's gonna hit. This guy's incredible. What if no one just can really beat him because he's the best wrestler there is? Bryan Danielson couldn't beat him. So why could Adam Page beat him?
So there's a couple of things. So
real quick though, like when you made that Dark Knight reference, I immediately thought of my man Debo throwing that detonator out the window. It's like, man, sometimes the good guy has to win, man.
Yeah, right. Sometimes. So here's how I look at it, right? So a couple of things. One, we talked about how rematches, there's a few matches that took place where we were like, okay, it was good, but they could have done more. That's how I felt about Kenny and Hangman last year, was that it was like, this was good, but it felt like they were holding back a little bit for a bigger match down the line. And this is that bigger match down the line. But the thing to me, like, I'm thinking about the fact that it's one of those third time's a charm kind of things. Full Gear last year, Hangman loses to the One Winged Angel. The 10-man tag at Fight for the Fallen this year, Hangman loses to the One Winged Angel. I think this is the time you got to do it. Hangman gets hit with the One Winged Angel, 1-2, kick out. And I feel like this is that moment of like finally, and it's not so much a case of Kenny not being the best. I think it should be a story of Hangman Adam Page just finally understands Kenny after facing him this many times.
Right.
After finally being on the other side of him, he finally knows what to do.
I think Hangman's gonna go over because Kenny needs to take a break, honestly.
Yeah.
Bro.
Dude, Omega has been working with I think he's been working with a torn labrum, bro, since like last year.
Yeah,
like I can only imagine how that feels.
And
like,
he's went so hard since then. Oh my god.
Legendary run, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not accepting
incredible.
slander. Legendary run.
Incredible run.
Hey, has Hangman ever hit Omega with the buckshot lariat?
No.
He has
accidentally, but not intentionally.
Okay.
You know, it happened a bunch when they were having their miscommunications as a tag team, but I don't believe he's hit it intentionally.
And they've been building this for a long time.
He has been using the Deadeye more too. I don't know if people noticed that.
I say, Red, that's why they should do it, man, because they've been building this for so long, man.
They have to pull it off. You know,
it's like at this point, if you ain't gonna do it, then when do you do it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the story though is that he's watched the others change. Like from the beginning of them starting the company, everybody else has changed, and it's worked for them in some ways. Like they cheated and they became champions, and he stayed the same. He failed and he didn't start cheating. And I feel like it says everything that he walked up to them in the backstage segment on Friday wearing the same shirt, by the way, that he had on when they kicked him out.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, like, look, I feel like we're even now, but don't get in my way. Like, this is my time. And I feel like that says everything. It's his time. And everybody knows it. And also the fact that they were in the back talking to Adam, they weren't talking to Kenny. I feel like all of the seeds are there.
Yeah,
they're planting the seeds. They're planting the seeds.
Shout out to Ken for the super chat. He said the Elite did a shoot interview where they basically said, yes, this was all to make Hangman the guy. This is gonna have a good ending. Please watch.
Look, like somebody said, I have Vince McMahon brain. I want you guys all to suffer. I suffered for 30 years. I want you to have them too. You guys don't just get these good things. Look how much bullshit we went through, and you guys just to have all your cake and eat it too all the time. There's a new wrestler, great matches. I want you guys to be sad after a wrestling show like I am.
You should.
This McMahon taught me this.
This game would do to you.
Hey, nah, for real though, I think Reg, like, I know he's joking, but he is kind of making like a real solid point because, like, I think WWE has sort of been the forefront of mainstream, or not mainstream, but like just sort of television wrestling for so long that their tropes, we're so used to seeing this.
I'm waiting for one of their tropes to happen. Like, no, he's not gonna win. Like they set all that up, and then at the end, we're all gonna be booing.
Everybody's gonna be booing, and then, or better yet, why don't you just send everybody home with a DQ? Like,
oh god,
or just like before the match is over, cut the whole pay-per-view stream and tell them they have to find out the ending on Dynamite.
And I say I'm pretty sure y'all even
just
remember when I'm pretty sure y'all even remember when they was leading up to CM Punk's debut. Everybody was like, oh, they gonna do a swerve. It's not gonna be Punk. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like those tropes are so. Yeah, man. That's all it is.
So Derek Gordon issued me a correction. Thank you. He said Cody was TNT champion twice. Yes, he was TNT champion twice.
There you go.
You know what though? I want to give a shout out to Cody Rhodes.
Oh, hold on a minute.
And here's why. Here's why. So I was thinking. So you guys read the Eddie Kingston piece, right?
It was fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic, right?
Incredible, phenomenal.
And so I actually really got to thinking about Cody's TNT title run and kind of the goodness that provided, right? Because essentially they only brought Eddie in to be another title defense for Cody. Yeah. But and the same thing with Ricky Starks. Those weren't like intentional signings as much as it was that was a reign designed to showcase guys against Cody Rhodes. And it did get us Ricky Starks signed, and it did get us Eddie Kingston signed. In hindsight, that reign And like there were guys who got a shot that you know, you kind of look back on and are kind of like, you know, maybe that was an opportunity that didn't work out, like Warhorse. But for the most part, Cody was defending against top guys and indie names. As a matter of fact, there's a few in hindsight that I wish had. Like, I remember Cody was name dropping a lot of people. One of the names he dropped was JTG. I would have loved to have seen JTG get a shot. Yeah, that.
You know what? I'm gonna
really
shoot
cool.
Cody some bell too. His reign was my favorite TNT title reign, just because what you're saying right now. Like, you on Wednesday, you might see like a huge indie star just wrestling Cody Rhodes, and that's
yeah. And then they got signed after that. Like that in hindsight, like thinking about. And I didn't really give that a whole lot of thought till I was reading the Eddie Kingston piece, and I was like, "Damn, that reign, like that did some things." Especially
and then with Brody and everything too, like he did a lot with that reign. He did, and
especially
lot.
at that time period where there weren't any indies running, so like guys did need those opportunities. They did need time to work and get to be on TV and things like that, and like that reign did it. If there's any credit to give Cody with that run, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, that was he was just burying people." Not really. Like
he did.
He wasn't.
No, I don't think he was.
He wasn't.
Look at us. Look at us. 4 black guys turning against Cody.
Oh my God!
You see what you did, Will?
No. Here's the thing. There's a lot else. Look, it's the rain.
Damn it, man. Send my check, Tony. Cody Rhodes. I love Rhodes to the Top. It's a great reality show. They're just like the family drama, Cody's sister and Brandy.
Come on, man. Go ahead and put the title belt on Brandy.
Hey,
man. Come on.
Brandy's coming for that TNT title. I don't care what nobody said. Brandy gonna come out throwing lariats at her, but like she gonna be strong style. She is not gonna not get that championship. She's coming for it.
Shout out to their design saying, "I'm leaning towards the fact that Full Gear is Hangman's pay-per-view."
I mean, Full Gear is named after his stuff, so it's set up for him. This is perfect.
I was about to say, sort of following up on Will's point about Cody, like, I mean, like just even over the past several weeks, like it seems like the crowd really doesn't know how they feel about this dude. Like he comes out some weeks, he gets booed out of the building. Like the last 2 weeks, going crazy for him when and then he cut that promo a couple weeks ago. Give him his props. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give him his props. You know what I'm saying? It hurts me, but I'm gonna give him his props.
I know.
I still have to give him his credit because he knew exactly what he was doing when he did the double underhook, and everybody reacted to it. And he came out the next week and was like, "I could have did it. I could have, but I didn't." He's a smart guy, man. Like,
he is. He's
for
really
all
smart.
of his faults, he has a mind for the business, man.
Sometimes he overthinks, I think, what it is, and like just keep it simple. Like the promo that we know is just like too much. Just like simplify it up, and he's been simplifying it up, and it's paying off. So shout out to Cody Rhodes. I can't believe I said that. What's going on?
Cody Vengers, man.
Hold on, what's the Cody look?
I always see that meme, bro. That is hilarious, bro. That is hilarious.
Cody Vengers in full effect, man.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Derek, who says the Deadeye won't beat Kenny, the Buckshot won't beat Kenny. Hangman will win with Brody's discus lariat. That would be cool. That's
a good call.
Yeah, the match is gonna be fire. Oh my
God.
I'm
excited, man. Like, I will say this though. So, for people who don't know what I do for a living, I'm a software developer. I've been like tech and computers are my expertise. That is what I've been good at for a long time. And I said all that to say that the ordering Full Gear through the Bleacher Report app was not easy. And I'm like surprised that finding it like was as difficult as it was. And I'm like, nah, man, technology's not going to beat me. I will figure this out. Because, like, if you just search Full Gear, it doesn't come up. Whereas you have to, like, search AEW. And then when you search AEW, you scroll a little bit. And then it's like, okay, here we go. Here's Full Gear. That should have been a lot simpler. I am happy with the fact that Full Gear does now have, or Full Gear, Bleacher Report does now have Chromecast ability. So, like, that gives it, that adds a lot of devices to it.
I will say, as the guy that has dealt with Bleacher Report's app quite a bit because I write there, Dab sucks. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate Dab. Like, just gonna go out and say that. I hate
Just
Dab.
put it out. Yeah.
It's not as hard for me to find because we get all of the notifications and stuff, and I just know what to look for because I've dealt with the app so much. But yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, the AEW, just you guys, jeez Louise, we are shills. Watch the show tonight.
And we're going to be even bigger shills because the people who are like, Grapsody, they're AEW shills and they're all they ever talk about is Fed bad. Well, you know what? This next story don't help.
Fed bad.
Fed bad.
Fed bad. This next story don't help because we're talking about Austin
because
Creed.
Fed is bad.
Oh boy.
We're talking about Austin Creed and Up, Up, Down, Down. It was actually a story that was worked on quite a bit by Fightful. See right there. Fightful Select actually.
You know who did it?
Yes.
Hey, SRS. You see him typing?
Shout out to SRS. We're gonna get all our Whiteful stuff out right from the jump, baby. Let's go.
Like, you think this stuff hurts us? Are you kidding me?
No, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Bro,
bro, let me just say, but that shit is so corny, bro. Like the fact that people like legit take the time to do like you not like I know people always say this when they're referring to stuff that people do stuff that's corny. They're like, do you have anything better to do? It's like, you know what I'm saying? That shit never like it's ridiculous, bro. Like I don't even know what to say. It's just dumb.
I do. I said it the day after it happened on our pod. We're famous, and I know you want to get energy off of our fame, but you can't do your own work.
Not ride
do your
waves,
own
man.
work.
These surfboards don't. Your surfboards don't work over here on these
surfboards.
Nah, keep it,
man.
So, and shout out to Drew about Grapsody entering the Cody verse.
Cody Vendors.
We're trapped.
The Cody verse.
So we're talking about Austin Creed. So the story, Xavier Woods, of course, as everybody knows, is the host of Up, Up, Down, Down on YouTube, and then he's also a G4 host. G4 actually becoming a thing. Like, we've been wondering for the longest time, like, what is this actually about to be? And it turns out it's finally like launching, like Attack of the Show's returning. Although without Olivia Munn, and like you teased that she'd be there, and she's not there. And like,
you should have known she wasn't gonna be there, bro. She couldn't wait to get out of there.
I know, but like, she was on the special they did last year, and so I was like really excited of like, hey, we're gonna get Kevin and Olivia, and like, no, it's not Kevin and Olivia at all. It's Kevin, but for those who haven't like followed the stuff he did after G4, I am shocked he got another opportunity at this, because he did.
There's definitely an earthquake happening right now.
Oh, for real?
It's over.
Okay.
Nope, it's still happening.
Uh-oh.
And you used to earthquakes. They
legit just happened. Just like, oh, that was an earthquake.
Yeah. Dang. I mean, hey, earthquakes are the reason I live in Colorado. We moved to earthquake destroyed my dad's job, and we had to move to Colorado from California. Split it in two. So.
Hold on, wait. This man just went through a live earthquake on the show. We're not just about to gloss over this.
Every time I be shaking, I'm like, that's an earthquake. I don't know. It's the Bay Area.
We okay? We okay?
That fault line thing. No, it's very good. That's like a normal happen. That's like the earth just burps all the time over here.
Okay.
It's like
the earth burps.
Burps. That's great. All right. So anyway, I one day I'll talk about the Kevin Pereira stuff, because he did some shady stuff. He used, long story short, he tried to relaunch Attack of the Show as a Twitch show. It was doing okay, but he wasn't getting the numbers they needed it to become partner. So he's cheated and used some bots and got caught. And
bought some followers. Man. That is hilarious.
Yeah. He used bots.
Man, those SoundCloud dudes be in my emails all the time. Look, I can get you 100,000 plays for $50. I'm like, yo, that's just not the vibe. They're gonna find out.
Yeah. So, but anyway, Xavier Woods, as the story was reported by Fightful Select, Xavier Woods was making little to no money from UpUpDownDown, and specifically the reason that no new UpUpDownDown content was being created was because they were holding out. They felt like Creed was being taken advantage of, and the biggest part of the story to me that I had no idea of was that so UpUpDownDown on YouTube has 2.7 or 2.27 million subscribers. A lot of subscribers. Now, UpUpDownDown is a product owned by WWE. It's always been owned by WWE. However, the issue here, and this also applies to his hosting with G4, because this is the problem with signing independent contractors, but then telling them that everything you do, as long as you're contracted to us, is through us. Because Creed hosting on G4, that's actually through WWE.
Oh my God.
His hosting UpUpDownDown obviously is owned by WWE.
Like all the stuff he wanted to do before WWE, they're all like, actually, you can do it, but it has to be ours.
Yeah, so this isn't all so bad, except for the fact that all of this is applied to his downside guarantee. That's a problem to me. That is like, so those who don't know how the downside guarantee works, that is the minimum amount WWE is guaranteeing you in your contract. So of course, through merch sales, all of that stuff, you could walk away with a lot more, but you're guaranteed you're guaranteed your downside. But that is usually expected of like pro wrestling ventures, right? But basically, it's being said that this money that's being made is applied to his downside guarantee. So when talking about the minimum amount that they're required to pay Xavier through this contract, money made through UpUpDownDown, money made through G4 is part of that minimum. That sucks.
Yeah,
and that feels like cheating. And that's. And Jester Designs asks, when are the New Day's contracts up? Can't imagine them staying. Correct me if I'm wrong, other reporters at Fightful. I'm pretty sure that they signed a 5-year deal in 2019.
Because Kofi had said in the interview, I think it was either late 2019 or early 2020, he said that this was around the time, because you're right, Will, all of them, they did sign a new deal collectively. But Kofi was talking about how at the end of his deal, he was thinking about retiring. And I think that was either a 4-year or a 5-year deal. But yeah, I think you're spot on with that.
Yeah, I think it's just going from memory. So maybe. And then Max said
they're locked in.
Vince got his
sign
to
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously. Seriously.
No.
Like, are you about to get paid, Xavier? No, I'm about to get paid, Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And so
Will, you right? So, they signed a 5-year extension. Him, Kofi, and Big E. They all signed 5-year deals.
In 2019,
and that was in
right?
2019, December. Yeah. It was around December 2019.
Okay.
Yep.
I remember because it was a big deal that they signed together, and they had put out there that they wanted to make sure that they essentially bargained collectively and made sure that they, as a group, got the best deal for them. And
man,
this whole thing is wild because of UpUpDownDown. You said 2.7 million followers, and they still don't even utilize the platform. They still don't mention anything about it. They still don't even really say all the accomplishments that Xavier Woods has. You know how many gamer fans you could use if you talk to them one time in your life? Mm-hmm. You know how many of these people that could cross over if you just said out loud that they exist instead of just like using the platform for nothing? I just cannot believe this.
Yeah, and they're talking about in the chat. I'm seeing. I just saw online corporations are not your friend. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I know Chappelle's not everybody's favorite right now, but I'm thinking about a story he told a year ago about signing the Comedy Central deal he signed, and how he compared it to. And obviously, I can't do a Dave Chappelle story justice. Like, you have to hear him tell it. But he compared it to the magician who fooled everybody, who fooled him by everybody in the crowd being involved in it, like everybody cheering him on and saying, go for it. And it was the guy who took his money, right? And he said that being in those corporate rooms where they have you sign this contract, was kind of the same thing. Where like, you know, he said all these white folks sitting at the table going, Dave, it's a great deal. You take it. It's a great deal. And like, you know, when you're young and you don't really know, it's like, yeah, this is a great deal. You know, I'm getting paid and I'm getting paid to live my dream. Take it. Whereas like, nah, there's little pieces to that you know, they're gonna take advantage of, especially when you are somebody like an Austin Creed who has who is such a really great brand ambassador and has so much to offer, not just in with pro wrestling, but all around pro wrestling. He just has so much to offer, and with that, I don't know that they didn't know that. And,
right.
I mean, they obviously knew it in 2019. You knew in 2019 what Austin Creed brings to the table. And it's a shame because I know a lot of gamer folks who aren't pro wrestling fans who know Up, Down, Down, and know his work.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. To me, it like was a gut punch. But at the same time, you know, we were talking about the releases last week. And Bryan Danielson made a statement about the releases that got some panties twisted. In that, you know, he talked about how, you know, WWE doesn't have to do this, and a lot of people kind of turn around and like, well, they're a business. You have to cut people. That's not untrue. Right. However, I do think that on the front end of deals, you should probably be more realistic about them.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, as a business, you should be signing people to deals that you have intentions of honoring.
Right.
So,
and what about how about this Keith Lee deal they said about how
I can't believe they responded to that.
Health insurance to their what did they say?
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, because they never respond to most of like these some of the statements that Tyler's put out like post WWE release concern. Nope. But like when they came out and spoke about it, I was kind of like shocked by that.
Right.
And then but Keith Lee has said when he released his initial statement that not the one about the medical issues, but he was like WWE caught his health issue, and you know, had it not been for them, he don't know where things could have went. And then like at the same time, with like I believe Keith, I don't think Keith Lee would throw something out there like that, like you know, with the medical issue, unless he has concrete proof that he paid that, and then WWE sort of jumped out there. I see with WWE, the thing is, it's like it's so confusing because they never care about anything optics wise, like they you know, but obviously we could tell with Saudi Arabia that they don't care about anything optics, but like it seems like with this. And like we know talents don't have like this healthcare system.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody knows that. So like it's just confusing as to why they decided to jump out there with this one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked because are you kidding me? People have done like word shoots and shit for since forever, since in their post WWE everything. And this the fact
they
that
have
they
lawsuits. Come on, you guys.
Yes.
Like to actually respond to this, I thought was interesting. And so I'm curious to see how this plays out because I don't know necessarily. Their wording wasn't direct about the specific issue that Keith Lee was talking about. So there are a lot of things that there are a lot of ways that can be taken. I'm curious to see how Keith Lee responds. It does sound to me like to me that's a fracture in the relationship to me. Like if there were ever a chance of like maybe Keith Lee could work it out, I don't know, because like essentially y'all came out straight up and be like and said, nah, this dude's lying.
Yeah, Keith Lee's not the kind of guy to do that with, like, to try. I mean, we also saw that report where they tried to, you know, throw some dirt on my man's character.
Don't
attitude
issues.
You know, so you just never
get him rich.
And you started. ECH and Leo Rush talked about this so much. So they did this exact same thing.
Attitude
as soon as you show a little bit of frustration, you're the angry black man. Classic.
And imagine this, by the way, right? Like I pictured that as soon as I saw that report come out. My first thought was, hey Keith, so tonight, in your second week back on TV, you're losing to Karrion Kross. I don't think I should be losing to Karrion Kross. Look at this guy with his attitude right here.
Come on, man.
I think with WWE, they like making people fall in line with the directive. Like if it's not what they want, unless they view you in that upper echelon of talent, you don't have any room to like sort of or have any elbow room. Right. And I feel like with Keith Lee, they never really looked at Keith Lee when he came up as like that premier talent that all of us see him as. And the thing is with the attitude thing is I'm pretty sure at some point you would have heard some story about Keith Lee pre-WWE.
Anywhere.
Anywhere, because I'm sure these things come up. You know what I'm saying? These things get out. It's no way they don't come out.
Or mid. Like, these stories come out all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Like, bro,
100%.
We haven't even seen Keith Lee get angry ever. How could he? What is he going to do? What?
We saw him growl as he was facing.
God, get me, take me. Oh my goodness!
Get me out of here.
The thing about Keith Lee is, man, like I think we all can sit here and talk about for an hour about how they just completely misfired. Like they sort of completely missed the essence of what made Keith Lee the talent that he is. And like just with this medical issue situation, it's like for them to just come out and like just outright deny it, like how Will said, like I think that's just a complete fracture. Like I don't think there's ever I feel like once they come out and start addressing stuff, like it's done.
That's it.
You know what it reminded me of? Do you remember when they put out that video back in 2014 of when CM Punk claimed he had the knot on his back, and they put out that video where they were like, here's 20 minutes of zoom ins on CM Punk's ass from the Royal Rumble, and we don't see a knot. And like they put this on their website and on YouTube of like, hey, we're just gonna they paid somebody to go and watch the entire Royal Rumble, and they're like, just make sure you highlight every single time CM Punk's ass was on screen, just to show we don't see any knot.
We didn't know anything about it.
I think with WWE is with certain stuff like this, like medical issues, I feel like they view that as like a top tier level issue. So like
they have lawsuits for it.
Exactly. And I feel like that's stuff they need to address. Like even we seen the concussion lawsuit wrapped up not too long ago. Like I feel like with certain stuff like that, they was like, okay, look, we can go to Saudi Arabia, we can release dozens of people. But like when they start talking about like medical stuff, like I feel like that's when we gotta sort of jump out there and defend ourselves. Right. And like it's ridiculous, man, how they pick and choose certain optics that they care about when everything matters, honestly. But like they just sort of decide which one they want to respond to.
Yeah, man. And to the up, down, down stuff. If the question is, are the people that work on up, down, down, like I'd assume some of these people are the people that are released, like Breeze and Mia Yim and like Jessamine Duke. Are they using my man Austin? Yes, because I know how much content they've gotten out of him and just how much entertainment. I think the funniest thing I've ever seen them do with up, down, down is when they put out their report on WWE.com that Seth Rollins was a double champion. And then I looked at it and it was like, because he won the up, down, down championship. And I was like, you know how many people have won the up, down, down championship before that? Remember when Kofi did it as a WWE champion?
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, wait, why are you guys only highlighting it now? Because it's Seth Rollins. Like, what is this?
like with the sort of Xavier Woods, man, like they are clearly taking advantage of him. I think we can all see that. Like I feel just said, they are taking advantage of him, and Woods is contributing a great deal. Like I can only imagine the amount of effort that it goes into like editing all that stuff. He has a team, of course, but I mean he's the driving force behind it. Like his face, Woods is the up, down, down brand. That's his, like he represents up, down, down in the conventions and all that different type of stuff. And like for him to have the G4 opportunity, even that to be connected through WWE, like bro, they know what they doing, man. Like we've heard like plenty of these stories, like when people get opportunities and WWE sort of filters those to who they feel like they should get. And if they do decide on who that talent is, they'll sort of, they'll always have their thing within that. It's never just that talent. And I think that's just sort of an inner thing of, look, you can get big, but if you're going to get big, it's going to be within connection to us. You know what I'm saying?
We got to put a cap on it. How far you can go with it.
Yes.
It's a lot of cap on it, that's for sure.
I mean, but I feel like that was the thing with the Twitch thing too. Like
that's a good point. That's a good point. Now, Phil, that's a good point. The Twitch thing.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of why they were like, nah, y'all getting yourselves over there. Y'all making money over there. Nah, we gotta be able to tell you what you can do with your Twitch account. We got to be able to tell you how you can promote yourselves. No, you work for us. So yeah, I definitely feel like it's some exploitation going on here. I mean, when I think of just certain things, when I was lapsed as a wrestling fan, I watched, and that's stuff like Woods beating Miz for and at Street Fighter and taking his championship, and then he just kept doing the sequels to those matches, and they're all hilarious. If you guys haven't seen those, hilarious. Just look up like Woods versus Miz on YouTube. Yeah. They're fantastic, and there's so much stuff that he got going off of that channel. I mean, it's a reason why it has 2 million followers. Like, and that's based off of him. That's based off of his brand. Of course, like there are other wrestlers that appear on the show, but they wouldn't have been able to get that with just anybody. You know, Xavier can walk in those rooms with gamers and wrestlers and speak to both worlds like that. Not just anybody can do that.
Right. He doesn't just play; he's in the culture.
Yeah, he's in it.
Video
he's
game.
in it.
It's everything.
He shows up in cosplays at all these conventions. Not just anybody does that. Like not just anybody gets the gig at G4 for the same reason, and that's why you're like, I feel like they're absolutely using his name and his likeness without giving him everything he's due.
And even with something as simple as like, I know y'all remember the time when the talents was making bank off the cameo stuff. Like, like, dude, if I'm a business owner, right, and you the head of WWE, if your talent just want a little extra bit of cash, you know what I'm saying? Like what is the issue with that? You know what I'm saying? They doing this thing, they sending videos to the fan, like they saying something wild. They just connecting with the audience, man.
They want their cut.
They want their taste.
Yes. Yeah, they want their taste. You're making money. Did it go through WWE? Right. So that we got our little piece of it. If not,
it ain't WWE branded cameo. Well, it better be.
It's like the mob, man. It's like I've been watching a ton of Sopranos when I'm not watching wrestling, and that's always a thing where if somebody else is off making some money in this other thing, Tony comes in like, man, you didn't sanction that with me. I didn't get my taste. Like, I feel disrespected.
You talking about Tony Khan and the NWA? You were saying Tony Khan as when he's talking about the Empower thing, right?
Oh man, that's a whole other.
I need my Billy. Say my name, bro. Say my name.
Nah, man, acknowledge me over
smoking.
There. Yeah, man.
That was a call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to LJ, by the way. She did ask a great question.
Yeah. Bro, I just speak on something positive about her, but she has a really good podcast. Like, and I listen to it sometimes for my news updates when I do the news updates over at Post. She gets a lot of great quotes out of wrestlers, man. She's really talented interviewer. So yeah, shout out to her, man.
Shout out to her.
I feel like there are certain people that go up hard for women's wrestling in this space, and she's one of them. And I feel like she's always doing it in a genuine way. I don't think she asked that question, to try and trip him up or for clout. I think she actually just wanted to see all women's show. And some people do want to see that. And so, that's what you're supposed to do. Not to go on a rant, but that's what you're supposed to do when you go on these media calls. If you represent what a certain audience might want to see, then yes, if you're in there where you can ask Tony Khan, are we going to get this? That's a good question. It's a valid question.
Right.
Could have just said yes or no, honestly. Like, yes.
The correct answer to that question was those shows were very good, and never say never. And then, because obviously the answer is no. Like, we know that as far as he's concerned, like, and he didn't want to say no, and he walked around in circles.
But like, also just do it, dude. Like, what are you doing? I mean, you got a whole bunch of women talent.
The thing is, like, it's like. My bad.
I'll say this, and this isn't necessarily a defense or excuse. What I will say is, I don't quite think it's that simple because AEW they have a deal for 4 pay-per-views a year with Warner Media, and if they did this on YouTube, which is AEW's only other platform they run, they'd be shit on for it like they were with the women's tournament.
You're right. You're right.
Ultimately,
they did it, and they put it on YouTube, and everybody shit on it. Yeah.
Right. So like, the people would be like, "Well, this isn't proper pay per view," and it's like, "Well, they have."
If it's not on TV or if it's not on Dynamite or pay per view, it didn't happen. Yeah.
And they have a deal for 4 pay per views, and I don't necessarily see one of those pay per views getting wiped for the women's show.
That makes sense.
Because it's not like because Impact's got Impact Plus, they are able to
broadcast anything they want.
They have a platform for that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And like if they inked another deal with like Fight, then I could see that actually.
Right.
But as far as their U.S. Warner Media deal for pay-per-view, which is 4 pay-per-views a year, I don't know what else.
The easiest thing to do is just do one Dynamite a year. That's all an all-women show. You have
that would be
52 shows, bro. Just do it. Hey, on October, blah 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 is the all-women show.
Right. But I think as far as like the answer was concerned, that was
he was
bad.
He was shooting.
And let's see. We got back to the super chats. Drew says WWE is not the marquee. The people who work for WWE are who fans come to see at shows. Without them, WWE doesn't exist. Vince's mindset is crazy. Slightly disagree with that. WWE is really proud of the fact that that's not the case anymore. Mm-hmm. They talk up all the time. Hunter said in interviews plenty that the draw is now WWE. That there is no one wrestler bigger than WWE.
And he's full of shit.
And they don't want no one. But the problem is they don't want one wrestler bigger than WWE. Because then at that point, we know what happens there. Like, yes, it's a really great thing from the fans' perspective. Like, we look back and we go, man, look at The Rock. He's doing big things, right? Look at John Cena. He's doing big things right now. WWE looks at that as, man, we get no piece of that.
Man, and so we wish we could be giving them contracts forever.
Yeah, like we got no piece of The Rock right now, and he's the highest paid actor in Hollywood, and we've got no piece of that. As far as we are concerned, nobody should get bigger than this brand again. Because
they are trying with The Rock too.
But they tag him in every.
They tag him in everything, right? Because like, look at this. Right? Let's say Roman Reigns blows up, right? Let's say Roman Reigns goes mainstream, blows up, right? WWE owns the name Roman Reigns. This isn't a case of,
true.
And that's a big thing that they want right now, and that's a big reason that they name the guys the way they do. Because then if Roman Reigns blows up, Roman Reigns didn't blow up under his real name. In hindsight, like WWE, I believe in 2004 sold the name The Rock to Dwayne Johnson, and I think in hindsight that was like, oh shit, we didn't know he was gonna blow up that
bad
big.
idea.
Right.
But like Steve Austin, he owns the name Steve Austin, right? Like CM Punk owns CM Punk, and so like if they blow up outside of it, they don't have a whole lot of control over the name they blew up under. But if Roman Reigns he would be the first, right? He would be the absolute first guy to cross over into mainstream with a name that they own, that it is their property. He can't do anything else but be Roman Reigns, and it is theirs. And that's what they want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm about to say every time I see WWE keep tagging Rock and everything, I think about that Martin meme. He was like, man, nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
Yeah, I bet you The Rock gets a notification. He's like, they tagging me again. I get it, bro. Roman Reigns ate some Cheerios yesterday. Why am I tagged in this? They don't stop.
My goodness, bro.
They were like, hey, would The Rock like this? Bro, he do not care.
They did the photo shoot.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, they did that photo shoot, and it's like, look, everybody dressed up as The Rock, which I'll give Rhea Ripley credit. She killed it.
She did kill that, but that Riddle joint, I wasn't it. Nope, I like it.
Hey, and shout out to Tremaine. Say he's probably gonna stay and deal with all of this, but I am more than happy watching Consequences Creed wrestle again.
I feel like he could also maybe retire from wrestling after 100%. Their deal too.
I mean, he's one of those, like, that dude's got.
And
so
I don't know if
talent.
he has any interest of not being in WWE ever. So I don't know.
I feel like he set himself up very well. Where if he stops wrestling, he'll get other opportunities easily. He'll be fine.
Right.
And then Mac, shout out to Mac from Brooklyn, said, what about using one of the 4 TNT specials for an all-woman show?
It's really easy. Come on, you got opportunities. Just do it. Yeah. Tony Khan, you have a roster of it.
They got Fight for the Fallen, Fighter Fest.
I guess they're all going to be. I don't know what they're going to do as far as naming those is concerned. Because I know the first one's the Battle of the Belts on January 8th, and then we'll see what they do with them.
Is Winter is Coming? Is that like a traditional? Or that was just like a one-time thing for last year?
I mean, I know they got, the fact that they were able to use that name. I know that Tony Khan's probably going to milk that because
I would think so.
Because they got that specifically from Warner Media, and that was like a licensed Game of Thrones thing. So, like,
and I'm sure it wasn't cheap.
Well, that was the thing. They got it through Warner Media. Like it was, hey, Warner Media owns Game of Thrones. They also own TNT. So this is a TNT special. It probably, I don't know, probably just all corporate synergy.
Yeah, dot connecting, man.
Yeah. So we got some other cool things to talk about. Like, how about Ryan Smiles in the Rev Pro Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Oh man, it was really tragic that he passed away. That was October, right?
Last October.
Yeah. So good to see him get some recognition somewhere. And he was Rev Pro Cruiserweight champion. He was a champion OTT as well, right? No Limit, right?
Yep. Yeah, Ryan Smile, man. I think that's just another conversation as far as like mental health goes, and like how these professional wrestlers that we often not critiquing in that sort of negative way, but just conversational style. And you know what I'm saying? They got their own whole different life going on and stuff that we don't even know that they dealing with. And I think just with him, like it's just another tragic case, man. That sort of life getting the best of you. And it's great to see Rev Pro honoring him. Like I think they've been like bringing his name up like on shows for like ever since
they didn't stop.
Yeah, they didn't stop. So for him to be the first inductee into their Hall of Fame, that's a good salute right there, man. And I hope all his friends and family are able to attend and be there for that special moment, because it's what I'm saying, like mental health is a conversation I think a lot of people have we started to sort of pick up more on, and it's not sort of something where everybody just sort of keeps it to themselves. Everybody,
especially with black men, it's like for us, man, it's tough because they tell us to be tough all the time when we do express these things. So I want to give it up to Rev Pro because this is amazing. Ryan did a lot for them. He had a lot of great matches that you guys should look up for Rev Pro, because he was one to watch out there. And it's really tragic what happened, and I'm happy that he's getting some recognition. So shout out to Rev Pro for that. Appreciate it.
For sure.
Yeah. And that was a quick number 3. Yeah. But there wasn't a whole lot to say. But
we just wanted to
R.I.P. Ryan Smile.
Right. Yeah. Rest in peace to Ryan Smiles.
And then we've got some more happening tonight because your boy Reg.
Wrestling. I'm gonna get the pay-per-view spoiled, I'm sure, at the show. I'm gonna, as soon as I get in the show, Billy, I'm gonna say, everybody shut up about Full Gear, turn your phone off, and don't say nothing because I'm trying to watch this later. But I know it's not gonna happen.
But Reg, beans and all, gonna be in the building.
Beans and all,
baby. Beamed up. I went to a wrestling show last night. 2 wrestling shows in a row. I wanted to give a quick shout out to West Coast Pro Wrestling. Those are my homies. They had a show in South San Francisco, headlined by the West Coast Pro Wrestling champion, AJ Gray. I almost said AJ Styles. That's hilarious. AJ Gray is the champion. He had a match with Black Taurus. It was fire. He had a brawl with Jacob Fatu afterwards. Super fire. Great show. Look it up on IWTV. There was also an insane match that Phil would like with Sandra Moon, Masha Slamovich, and Nicole Savoy. That was insane. They were beating each other up. It was great. I got to talk to Nicole about her little MLW scare, and she said she's out here doing her thing, trying to keep it moving. She looked great. It was amazing. Shout out to West Coast Pro Wrestling. Those are my homies. Yeah, so 2 days in a row, I'm back at wrestling again tonight. New Japan Pro Wrestling is in San Jose. It's the Battle of the Valley. A lot of banger matches, but I mean, Okada versus Buddy is just like...
That's the one.
This is about to happen since when? Okada is in California eating at In-N-Out, and he is ready.
With Ishii.
They're eating some American food. The homie Scott took him to eat a deli sandwich for the first time ever. He's out here living his life.
Ishii's taking on Jay White too. Like you got, that's gonna be dope.
It's a fire card, man.
Yeah,
I'm about to say, what that's for the title, right? The Never title.
Yes, for the Never Open.
I think the Impact World Champion Animal Homie's gonna be there too.
Animal Homie.
Animal
Homie. Oh yeah, he's facing Deuce Robinson.
Animal Homie.
The Animal Homie's gonna be there.
I'll pull up the card. I got it. Yeah. Okay, I've got the card here. Animal Homie.
No, but I'm super stoked to see New Japan. I think they were here in San Jose maybe last year, the year before, for the Super J Cup, maybe. No, it was 2019. I actually just saw the shirt. That was dope. It's always great seeing New Japan. Seeing Japanese wrestlers in America is just like, oh, wow, man. They flew really far for this. So, like, always shout out to New Japan, man.
Yeah, I went to the show in San Fran in 2018. That was the one where
you lucky, man. Oh,
that was the one where the Firing Squad turned on the Elite and kicked them out right after the Cody versus Omega.
Yep.
I happened to just randomly be on a cruise that time instead of being at the show, so I just regretted all the time. The cruise sucked. Cruises are dumb. Who wants to be on a fucking boat for 3 days? Bro, I want to go outside. I don't want to be stuck in this boat. I miss New Japan for this shit.
I like cruises. I don't know.
Man.
So we'll never see Reg on the Jericho cruise?
He's the one that was have to go because the other two of us are blocked. So, he's the representative for
I guess it works out.
I am blocked by
be on there.
I ain't seen a Jericho tweet in a really long time. And again, I still don't know. I've gone over. I did a search through my posts of the word Jericho because I ain't never tagged him in nothing. And if it's
maybe on the podcast,
if it's the post, I think it is that got me blocked. It really says a lot because it was after all. It was when Jericho like All Lives Mattered everything last summer, if that's the one that got me blocked, like forget everything I've said about Jericho is wrestling because I've been up and down. I've praised his work. I have critiqued it. I've talked wrestling. I've been talking about it for 16 years. There's at some point I've said something about Chris Jericho, but if it really was that, if it was that particular topic, if it was after George,
probably was
because if it was after George Floyd, that's what got
because
me blocked.
I know somebody else that he did the same thing for. He did. There's a guy that has a card game, and he was saying something about Jericho and All This Matters, and he got blocked. So it's exactly what it was. He went through his list to find everybody that was challenging him, and he blocked them. So
I know I'm
by Jericho, baby, blocked. That's our new intro song. I'm gonna remix the Grapsody song to that.
Yeah, hey man, I know why I'm blocked. So. There's no question in my mind why I'm blocked, and it had to do with the Black Lives Matter stuff. So, you're probably that's why you were blocked because he was blocking other Black content creators that kind of called him to task on that, and so would not surprise me. I don't know.
Suck it, Chris Jericho. Let's move on.
No, what I was gonna say though is I will say
go Scorpio Sky now.
I'll be pins him again. Hey, so we got another one from Jester. Trisha Dora is joining STP apparently.
Yeah, Trisha Dora is having an incredible run. Have to say it out loud. Oh my god! Every time they announce a new match, I'm like, yo,
numero uno.
Like it's kind of it's really cool to see her, like especially because it's unfortunate about Ring of Honor because they literally just signed her to a deal.
They have a show tonight too on their Honor Club, which she is on. Yeah,
and I know she's gonna. What's that? The Honor for All, Honor for All show, and then I wouldn't mind seeing Trish versus Roxy at Final Battle, man. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be pretty fire.
I wouldn't mind.
They're actually doing that, I think, tonight at New Texas Pro. Shout out to New Texas Pro. The main event is my homie Brian Keith against Calvin Tankman. It's gonna be a banger.
You talking about having a year, man? Tankman.
Ooh, and Keith, both of them have had like incredible years. I was just talking about I'm gonna do the 2021 Black Wrestling Awards again. I'm gonna shoot it out. Everybody's gonna vote, and I think Brian Keith and Calvin Tankman are gonna be very high in Wrestler of the Year list because they have been having some crazy matches, man. It's like I was just telling somebody the other day. Oh, Juicy. Yet last night I was saying that it's so much easier to champion these Black wrestlers nowadays because everyone's so good. Like when I first started, it was like kind of a process to find wrestlers, but now it's like there's so many great wrestlers. It's easy to just be like, hey, watch this wrestler because you're gonna be blown away, man. I love it, man. Yeah. The talent out here it's I don't be saying I'm blessed a lot, but being blessed to be a Black wrestling fan right now, it's just like, man,
get those prayer hands up.
I'm saying, bro.
You know what? And you know what? That brings us into our
perfect lead in.
Yeah, perfect lead into the top story. So Lee Moriarty had a week. And you know what? I don't want to discount anybody else that was a part of this because, I alluded to we were talking about dads watching things. So I had a phone call from my dad Wednesday night, and it was right after the tag match ended. And I didn't know my dad was watching. Had no clue. He must have been channel surfing or something and just came across it. My dad, he's been in and out of wrestling for the last like 20 years. My dad was a big wrestling fan in the 70s and 80s and then 90s. He spent all of the Attitude Era going, man, this stuff's not as good as it used to be. And then,
and now I turned into him.
And then, and then all the 2000s, he was just like, this is nonsense. And like right now, like he just kind of tunes in to athleticism. The guy's in his 70s, right? So anyway, I get a phone call from him, and I thought he was calling to talk basketball because he and I talk basketball all the time. That is like our bond is basketball. And so he calls me, and he was just like, he goes, hey, who are these brothers on the screen right here? And I was like, let me flip over to the game. And he was like, no, in the ring. And I was like, and I said, you're watching Dynamite? And he's like, yeah. He's like, who's his brother in the white? He is good. And I'm like, that's Lio Rush. You've never seen Lio Rush? And he's like, no, I haven't seen Lio Rush, but I've seen Lio Rush. And he's like, this brother's good. He is so good. And then he's like, and him and the other tall brother, he's good. And he's like, and that other brother who needs to get some meat on his bones. And I said, I was like, you mean Dante Martin?
Don't do
and he's
Dante like that.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, him. He said, yeah, he's like, he looks good, but he needs to get some meat on his bones. And I was like, come on, Dad, he's 21, like
right.
it'll get there. But yeah, he was just like impressed. He walked away from that just like he was like, those brothers are impressive. And that other white guy in there too. But those brothers are impressive.
That other white guy. I mean, why you doing Sadell like that, man? Why you doing Sadell?
I mean, that was my dad, though. That was my dad. And he called, and he just called to talk about this match. And, like, that rarely ever happens. Like, I think the last time my dad called me to talk about a match was after the Shaq match.
I mean,
yeah,
Shaq was going at it.
Yeah, and that was it. And but he, again, was impressed. He was like, hey, who is this Red Velvet? And that's my dad. And, so
I mean, this match was insane. We're talking about Lee Moriarty, but there's a lot of moving parts in this match, and they just put it together. Oh my goodness!
That crowd walked into that match prepared to boo Lio Rush because
they did.
One, he's a heel, so that would have been the right call anyway. But I think there is a little bit of there's a mocking tone when it comes to Lio Rush. When you notice there's
people forget that Lio Rush is incredible because he talks a lot, but that's his thing. That's how he brings you. He talks a lot. He's a cocky rapper. He's all these things. He hasn't been in an AEW ring in a long time, so people forget. But then as soon as you see him, you're like, oh yeah, that's why. He is actually everything he says.
Because when this match got announced, we were over the moon. I knew what this was going to be. Are you kidding me? As soon as they said Lee Moriarty teaming with Matt Sydal to take on Lio Rush and Dante Martin, I was like, there's no way. You give this some time.
I was crying tears of joy.
Yeah, this is going to bang. Yeah, last week you were all like, this is going to be it. This is the match. And it was. But when they announced it on Twitter, for whatever reason, I'm a masochist. I'm like, don't read the replies. I read the replies. And then everybody likes to mock Lio Rush. It's like, oh, when's he going to retire again? I bet he'll retire after this match. And like, there's always some shit like that, right? And I feel like there is a tone with people in the crowds who are just immediately like, man, fuck Lio Rush, right? Until he performs. And then it's like, okay, maybe not fuck Lio Rush.
Right.
Because that dude, because Lio Rush has it. He can go. And in this particular match, he made sure to remind people that he could. What's funny was my son only has a couple of memories of Lio Rush. And they're all related to having Bobby Lashley hit his favorite pose.
Lashley. Never forget.
He got that over.
He did.
Got that over, man.
He the Lashley, the Bobby, hit him with your favorite pose.
He was incredible, man.
I can't believe that's what they had, Bobby.
Right. Ashley showing his ass cheeks on the show.
No. Don't say Bobby Ashley on a podcast. You might get fired. Don't do that.
I'm sorry, Bob.
Yeah, but that's all my son remembers of Lio Rush, right? And so he was immediately like, Dad, was Lio Rush always this fast? And like that was his question. Like he turns to me, he's just like, was he always this fast? Because like that was kind of the story he was telling in the match, right? With like every bit of offense that Matt Sydal was throwing at him, he was just ducking, dodging, and like just he had a match to showcase.
See, that's
Lio
the
Rush
thing
is.
about Leo. It's going to be really hard. He's so good at talking and being a heel, but as soon as he wrestles, it all goes out the window, and kids are just like attracted to him. So it's going to be so hard to like get them to continue to boo him as a wrestler, you know.
And I mean, like he looked like a Power Ranger, and like
exactly.
That, and to my
like
son,
a superhero, man.
To my son who is huge on Power Rangers, that like he just saw the super fast.
Doesn't he have a movie role coming up? Didn't he get announced for the Power? Didn't he get announced for something?
He's in the Power Rangers movie. He's
okay, so this is probably like a tie-in. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, really?
Yes, he is. He's in a Power Rangers movie.
But like to somebody like my son, who I think has been looking for that wrestler for a while, because it used to be AJ Styles before he turned heel, but he's been looking for somebody who's just cool and good and does cool shit in the ring, but then also like you can kind of look at like a superhero. Mm-hmm. Like he saw Lio Rush as that, and that wasn't even what Lio Rush was supposed to be. But man,
Lio Rush is still trying to scam. He ain't trying to mess with these kids.
4X Leo. 4X Leo, man.
Hey, man. I will say before, I jump into, get all the Leo and the Lee stuff. Man, it's Dante season, bro. Like, I feel you can say what you want about, hey, this match is this. This match was a showcase for Dante. Dante got the pin. And then
every match is a showcase.
And then
for
on
Dante.
Friday, the response he got on Friday was amazing. And then again, he gets.
And they had Team Taz try to recruit him.
Everybody's after Dante.
I just feel like Dante season's in full effect, man.
Hey, Phil, like the crazy thing is, man, like it's so cool, like seeing Dante like have this like organic, we're like literally watching like this rise of Dante Martin, man, and it's crazy. And like the thing is, man, like I just hope that they can sort of continue that when Darius comes back. Like,
that's what I'm really interested in.
I want them. Yeah, I want them to still be a team. I feel like they are great as a team, but I still want them to be able to have their individual singles run, because we're seeing Dante literally like turn into like one of the sort of the key young guys in AEW. Man, yeah. I don't want that to just like end. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that to just be like, that was a thing.
I feel like the story they're telling with Leo going like, no, come over here. I'll give you everything over here. Like, just be my teammate. And then the second he wasn't on screen, then Taz tried to proposition him. I love Look trying to offer him chips. Looking great. But I feel like all of this is leading to him picking his brother later on and going, no, this is my teammate, and then them getting the tag run.
You know that, and honestly, that would be such a great put over for Darius, because like ultimately everybody wants Dante, and you could push this for months before he's like, I want Darius, and
Big Pop,
and then honestly, because I want to see Darius get his flowers too.
Me too.
Like Dante, I wasn't sure what was gonna happen, because we've been. One thing that's happened in recent years is that it's been a WWE thing, but like I worried about AEW having the same thing, because AEW is so, and not just because like WWE's beating me into it, but like because the AEW emphasizes tag wrestling so much, and one of those things that I was talking about is that pro wrestling hasn't done a whole lot of like tag team splits recently, where like if a tag partner gets injured, usually it's just like keep them both on the shelf until we're ready to have them both come back. We don't necessarily want to showcase just a single guy anymore. There's been plenty of times where that happened with FTR when they first debuted, right? Wasn't it? I think Cash Wheeler got injured, I believe, right after they debuted, and they just took them both off TV. And I'm referring to back in 2017.
Right.
Oh, you're talking about when they attacked New Day. And
and then
injured Kofi. Yeah.
Right. And then one got injured though, and then all of a sudden we just didn't see the revival again. And like that's kind of a thing with tag team wrestling, is like, we don't want one to get more over than the other. So like it just happened with the Viking Raiders. They did it with what the heck, AOP. Like that happened a lot with guys. And so I was thinking with AEW, I had a worry with Dante Martin of, Darius is hurt. That probably means that we're not going to see much of Dante. And like, Darius has that injury, man. Dante is pretty much screwed. And instead, Dante is just getting to be that guy. And remember that first sunset flip he hit on Matt Sydal, and all of a sudden with the sunset in the background, you saw that. Yeah, you saw that, and you were like, "Oh, okay, there, you've got something here. You've got such just the imagery.
Like, where did this guy come from? Almost, if what is what it feels like.
So like we've talked about Lio Rush. Lio Rush has just gotten to showcase himself so well this week in one match. And shout out to Lio Rush because he lost his grandma this week, and like he lost her on Tuesday. Went out there,
to Leo.
Wrestled Wednesday. And then
wait, it was before the match?
It was right before the match.
Oh my goodness. Lio Rush, brother.
Yeah, he tweeted about it.
He did that off that? Oh my God.
He tweeted that
she was phenomenal talent. I'm sending all love out to you and your fam, man.
Yeah, he had tweeted that he had that she had been able to see all his matches, and he was and that she wasn't going to get to see this one, but he was like, but this one's for her. And then he went and did that Wednesday.
And he went and destroyed
And he did it.
He went and destroyed it. Oh,
man.
Goodness.
Oh, man. That's sad.
And his trainer passed away like within the last year, I want to say, too. So it's been rough for Leo.
Yeah, it's been rough for Leo.
We're going to send some love out to him. Mental health. We talked about it and continue to talk about it.
Leo had a great showing. Dante had a great showing. But the man, the guy that we ride for,
Leland.
Lee Moriarty had he had such a great Dynamite showcase here. He got to look so good, and I feel for him every single time. You could see it in his face. Like the first time he wrestled in Pittsburgh against Dante Martin, and the crowd was chanting for Lee Moriarty, and like the look on his face of like, what the hell? This many people know who I am. Like you see that look of like, what am I doing here? And like, and then when he got in that ring and the crowd doing the whoa, Lee Moriarty.
Shout out to J Rose. He did that.
Yeah,
J Rose. He's the man. Best of all time. He started that chant. That's what it is. Lee Moriarty, man. Jeez Louise.
And man, the crowd going nuts for him. I feel so good for that dude. And just watching it happen and watching it play out and watching it all happen in this match. This match came through. This match was fire.
Perfect showcase, man.
Perfect showcase for all of those guys. And as a matter of fact, I want to give a shout out to Rob Reed, who sent us a super chat, said
he did.
Matt Sydal looked like a proud father during
just
that
sitting
match.
back like,
man.
Look at my youngins.
Just to go back to Top Flight for a second, because I do see some people that are like, oh, what is Darius going to do? Darius is great. I don't know if people remember when he was still Airwolf and he had that match with Josh C on, the card for Black Wrestlers Matter. That was one of the best matches on that card.
Yeah,
Darius is going to be fine.
He was in MLW for a long time without Dante, so like he's going
to be fine.
He's built for this.
If anything, I hope, and I have a feeling that I don't have to hope very hard. But I hope he's got that fire under him right now. That's like, man, people are forgetting who I am. Like, I just come out swinging,
just like Steph. I'm hurt, but when I come back, I'm about to put numbers on the board, baby.
Hey, Will, I think that's just a natural thing. Honestly, within all of us, to be honest with you, like that's in every single anybody that say any type of work field, like you like I may forget like what I can do right now, and I think it's the same thing with Darius. He's always going to root for his brother. Like, come on, like that's family beyond anything. But I know inside him, it's that thing. Like
he's like, I'm trying to get some too.
Wait till I get back. Wait till I get back.
And then Tremaine said, this tag team match was the highlight for me. I like this way more than Pac versus Dax. I was mad every time they took a commercial.
The commercials could get a little bit in the way sometimes in these big matches, but I guess we just have to deal with it. There's really nothing we can do seeing a TV show.
JJ, and hey, I guess now there we go.
Yeah, I was telling Lee this week that it feels even better. I DM'd him that it feels even better because it feels so authentically him. Like it's he's on TV as himself. He didn't change anything. he is Lee Moriarty and he's giving it to us. And it's just like, it's amazing to see that you don't have to change. You can do everything you want to do. You can do your own style, use your own music, you do everything your way and be able to get the opportunity to shine. It was.
Yeah, I feel like this was a vindication for people that were saying he was a good signing and riding for him so hard at the beginning. Right. Because, I mean, you know, he got the match, and I feel like that was the best match on Dynamite by far.
It was.
And I feel like he looked great. He's still doing the Tigers jersey. He's still doing everything that he brought from the Indies. They didn't play his theme music, but his theme music sounds very similar to the theme music he used on the Indies.
Comes out with the headphones, all the stuff.
Comes out with headphones, and then the headphones led to the Pitchfork article. And then the next night, he had a stupid good match with Darius Lockhart.
WWE fan reaction to that, bro. Oh my god, that match was insane.
Great match. He came out and, you know, for the last time came out to boo it up because that's kind of his thing. And man, just seeing in that match, like if you don't understand what makes him so good, I feel like that's the match to watch because you get a showcase of what he can do as a technical wrestler. You get a showcase for why he's such a good babyface because he looks like he's having fun while he's kicking your face in and doing all this great technical stuff, which sounds like somebody else that AEW just signed, by the way. Just going to throw that out there. And so I feel like there's a reason why people see something special in him because it, like in a lot of ways, he reminds people of Danielson. Yeah. And it's just like just watching this guy who happens to be black do all of these things and be so universally loved. It's just so cool, man. Like when I saw the Pitchfork article come out, I was like, man, he's winning, man. He's winning.
Yeah, the Pitchfork article. Like that was cool. Honestly, though, but also Darius Lockhart up next.
D-Lock is way up next. He just announced that he's going to be in NWA. Oh, finally. They're opening their fucking ears.
Bro, I'm so glad they actually, because I honestly, I also think that's a credit to just Darius Lockhart, his work over the years, but I also think that's because... Exactly. I think that's because of the reaction on social media when people was like, man, if you don't get this dude in here.
Exactly. That's what I was just telling a young wrestler last night. He said, I was like, yo, do you have Twitter? He's a young black wrestler. Yo, do you have Twitter? I have it, but I don't use it. Yo, you need to use it. Like, people think like the social media, I'm big, whatever. Stop thinking it because you can present yourself so many opportunities if you want, you know, and this right here, what Darius Lockhart did is a perfect example of that. He shot his shot so many times that I need to be in here. Same thing with O'Shea Edwards and ROH when they were popping like, yo, if you keep putting it out, you keep being dope, you keep putting out the content, people get behind it, yo, you can get it. And he got it.
All you need is one. Oh, you good, Phil? You good, Phil?
No, I was just going to put something you said over in another podcast where you were saying, man, do media. Like all you black wrestlers that are not getting it, do media. Come on.
Seriously.
Bro, do the interviews. Do the interview. I mean, of course, pick and choose which ones you want to do. But do the interviews. And I'm telling like you, all you need, and this is not even
I'll even open it up. You see that box that Drew is in right now? We will happily talk to you.
I mean, do media with us. Do media with Andrew. But do media. Do media.
But like, man, it's like it's so simple, and it's like this just relates to anything in life in general. All you need is that one person to see you, one person, and it'll change everything. And like it's so simple, man. And like just Darius Lockhart, it's really great to see him, like Phil said, like shoot a shot, and he in there now. And like with Lee, he's had like this crazy good year that sort of built up to the AEW signing. Like he was in doing the stuff with he had a match at Ring of Honor. He was doing the stuff with MLW for a little bit. I think he just wrapped up the Opera Cup tournament. He just competed in the Jen Lynam tournament over at AAW in Chicago. And then I think he was signed to AEW with AEW.
He's doing some stuff with Limitless too. Like he is he's busy. He is busy.
Booked and busy, man.
Booked and busy.
Booked and busy, man.
Yeah, but that match with Darius Lockhart and Lee Moriarty, Enjoy Wrestle, it's on YouTube. It premiered. Everybody's been going crazy over it. It was a perfect showcase for both wrestlers. Darius wants to be mentioned in the technical wrestler spirit too. So like he right here was like, yo, I can show it too. I can go toe to toe with Lee Moriarty, and it's gonna be fire. And it was all fire.
I'm just gonna manifest this for him. Darius Lockhart is going to be the second Black NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Speak it.
It's going to happen. We don't know what the deal is or how many appearances he's got yet. But I'm still speaking it into existence because I want to see it happen.
Yes, he willed this and he deserved it. He's coming in with the story. He's coming in with something. It's not just going to be this guy's debuting. Like, we know why he's debuting. We know how he got here. Let's execute.
Let him fix it. Let him fix it. Let him get that 7 pounds of gold.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they sort of gave him like his own like marquee spot in the video package that lets me know that they know how good he is, and it's like this isn't just like some and not disrespecting anybody else that comes into the NWA and like, you know, it's a new person, but like it sort of just shows you that's like, hey, we got our eyes on this dude, so you might want to keep your eyes on him too. I think that's a cool thing, bro.
And it looked like all of his vignettes that he does himself on his YouTube and on his Twitter too. I noticed that right away. Like, it didn't look any different than everything he already does.
Exactly. Presentation.
Yeah.
Man, this is a weekend for pro wrestling, ain't it? Like, I can't believe
it's busy.
It's busy, but man, I can't believe just everything that's going on. I just have a feeling by the end of the day, I'm gonna be all smiles just for everything. I mean, this has been a week. This has been a week already, and then the way it's just gonna cap off this weekend, I couldn't be happier as a fan. And hey, just shout out to everybody. I want to give one more super chat. We've got Tremaine, who said, my mom's going through it right now, and Dante and Lee getting spots on national TV brighten my week. This podcast has as well.
Appreciate that, Tremaine. Yeah, sending love out to you and your fam too, you and your moms, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Thank you to everybody, and shout out to everybody in
protect your mental health. We talked about it a little bit, man. Get out there, take a day off, go outside, eat some watermelon, smoke some weed, drink some beer. I don't know, do whatever makes you happy, because it's not long out here, and you just gotta get it. That's why I'm going to watch a whole bunch of wrestling tonight. I'm gonna watch wrestling live, and then I'm gonna come home and watch some more wrestling on TV, because that's what makes me happy.
I see it's being asked about in the chat. Look, man, I'm not gonna pretend I watched that, but Evan asking, did y'all see Jinder and Shanky's raps?
It was bad. Like they called him cringe, bro.
Man, if you were worried about what they're gonna do with Hit Row on SmackDown, this doesn't bode well.
There you go.
And I'm gonna
Mr. McMahon, leave us alone. Vince McMahon, leave us alone. I'm tired of it. Hit Row, what is this bullshit? You fired the woman and then you got him with Veer and fucking Shanky? Are you serious? Hit Row.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, man, I'm still trying to be optimistic because I love Swerve, man.
Exactly. I'm still remaining optimistic. I will support anything Hit
Swerve
Row does.
Isaiah Swerve Scott's one of the best wrestlers legit in the world.
We'll
see. We'll see. If not now, when that damn contract is over and he's somewhere else. Because fuck the WWE, man, some bullshit, man. Y'all don't know what to do here. Hey. You guys don't know a hip hop group. Here's a hip hop group, Grandpa. What do you think? Oh, I'm
Grandpa.
But here's another point, though.
Keep bopping and deep duping. Look, this ain't Chuck Berry, bro. This is hip hop, and you're not gonna get it. Bruce Pritchard, of course, he's not gonna fucking get it either, man. He doesn't know any of this shit. They want to take everything away from hip hop. They're gonna have him out here clowning, doing these bullshit 10-year-old raps, like somebody said online. This is bullshit. Stop it. I don't want to see it anymore. I hate it. It's dumb. Don't do Hit Row like this. Don't do Swerve like this. Don't do Shane Strickland like this. He's an incredible talent. Could be the best wrestler in the whole world. But instead, y'all got Jinder my fucking Hall rapping at him. Leave me alone.
Hey, man. And that actually brings up another good point. The thing that was interesting about the Pitchfork article, Lee wasn't talking about wrestling. He was talking about music. And that plays into his character because he comes out with the headphones and asked him, what do you listen to in the headphones? He gave his choices for music. He gave how he discovered these artists. Like, it was a really cool article. Yeah. And I feel like I was kind of in the back of my brain going like, hey, you've got 3 guys on your roster who are a hip hop group. Why aren't they doing the same thing, like doing the Pitchfork articles and going and doing other things that are music related to get hip hop fans interested in what you're doing with WWE? You've got an opportunity here. And that's why I didn't agree with some people that were like, why are they doing the Rolling Loud thing? No, the Rolling Loud thing is a fantastic opportunity to get more fans to look at wrestling, because there are a lot of hip hop fans that like wrestling.
Yep.
And whether they be lap fans or, they're like, in that era where I don't know, I might be too old to watch wrestling. You've got Hit Row on your main show now. Do something with it.
Only reason I didn't like the Rolling Loud stuff was because, man, nobody there cared, and I thought it looked bad.
Yeah.
I told you next year, if they do it again, you have to have a rapper rapping at the same time. I know it sounds insane. Yeah. I know it sounds crazy, but if a rapper is going at the same time, if they have like Denzel Curry rapping at the same time that this match is going on, it would be hot. Do it. That's the only way it's going to work. Stopping the whole rap show to have a wrestling match.
Yeah, that's true.
No one wants to see that. They came for rap. So you have to continue the rap while the wrestling is going on.
Yeah.
Duh.
Or you bring in Jeff Hardy.
Bring Jeff Hardy. You didn't bring Jeff Hardy. Like, they
bring
Jeff
Hardy.
Bring Jeff Hardy. Like, I would have honestly sent Cena, because they would have knew who the fuck Cena was. All of them, no matter what,
I want to see Jeff Hardy out there dancing like he was to Let's Get Married.
Man, for reals. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But the staging didn't work either. Like the way that the ring was, I feel like they can work the kinks out and make that relationship work.
Yes. Right. You can't make it work just the way they did it, of just like, we're just gonna throw wrestlers nobody's heard of in front of people, and because like some of it was embarrassing. Like I'm not gonna lie, when they were like, "All right, everybody, say we want the smoke," like 5 people go, "We want the smoke," and and they're like, "Wait! I thought y'all were offering something," and it's.
Hey, so what was it the SmackDown show like in between like another popular artist? Like they were like. I think it was somebody that the crowd really wanted to see.
Yeah, it was Bobby Shmurda, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness!
Oh, it was before Bobby Shmurda.
Worst. Yeah. That's a bad.
And
spot,
like pick
bro.
a better representation. Not saying Bobby Shmurda's a bad rapper, but like wrestling fans aren't at the Bobby Shmurda show. Yeah, maybe like find like the Flatbush Zombies or like somebody.
Man, I mean, you had Wale bring in.
Find Wale. Wale was there. Dude.
Yeah,
Wale was there for the entrance. They should.
Yeah, he did the intro.
I don't know.
And they should have had him rap, and it would have been great. But they can't figure it out because they're 95-year-old white men who don't know anything.
Hey, by the way, shout out to Wale. The way that he keeps taking the culture to other things. Like I was watching him on Drink Champs, and he was talking about wrestling, and I was like, man, this is why Wale is one of the best of us, man.
Nori called Vince McMahon Vince Vaughn, and I was dead, man.
Nori in
like Vince Vaughn.
Nori in that interview was the best, man. Nori's a national treasure, man.
He's a fool, man.
I had recently watched a couple minutes of their interview with Kanye, and I was
I still haven't watched it, but
my goodness.
I feel like I need to. Like I was literally in the bar.
Go watch it, Will.
You should watch it.
I was literally in the barbershop yesterday. By the way, shout out to Jelani for.
But he trying to keep it sort of in. He like, look at the crispy one. Look at the crispy one. All right, we out.
Will's a great client. Will's a great client.
But yeah, we were in the shop yesterday, and everybody and like. They were about to put it on, and then somebody objected because they're like, "No, don't." They're like, "Don't put that shit on." Yeah. But I was like the only one in the shop who hadn't seen it, and I feel like I probably should.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it eventually. It's a 2-parter.
I watched a little bit of the first part, and I'm probably just like to officially put a stamp on me and Kanye West. Watch the whole thing so I can get it all in. Like, hey, man. Okay, I'm good here.
Hey, but the Wale episode is actually very good. Like, for people who haven't seen that one, it's a good one as well.
Wale's dope, man. Big E just loves him. They're just like he's the unofficial 4th member of the New Day for sure, and the unofficial member of Hit Row also, as apparently.
Shout out Joe Greer, the Super Sicker, and shout out T. Daniel Barber for the super chat.
I know what y'all crave. I know what you want. Man. Come on, I'm gonna give my people what they want.
Hey everybody, thank you for being with us on this wonderful, beautiful. I haven't even looked outside. I don't know if that's true, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful because you're here. We're here. We're all here. It's been a beautiful Saturday.
Thank you for being here. Drew, sorry, you're always here, Phil. Drew. It's been a long day, Drew. You guys. I was at wrestling late. I got problems. Whatever. Andrew Thompson, he's an incredible talent. You can find him on Post Wrestling. Where else can they find you, Andrew? Andrew Thompson interviews on YouTube.
Yeah, the Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter, as his graphic says. The wonderful design right there. Greatly appreciate
he killed it.
Greatly appreciate
right next
it.
to the logo, you know.
Right next to the logo, man. But yeah, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Y'all know y'all got my full support. I'm always retweeting every time I see the live stream up on Saturdays, man. So yeah, shout out to y'all. Y'all killing it. Putting on, man, and keep doing what you're doing. Don't pay attention to all the,
I try to ignore them. It's hard.
Side combo, man. Like,
as soon as Phil start going off, I'm like, all right, we going to war. What's up?
Like we always got Phil's back. But yeah.
No, anyway, I was about to say, ultimately, what people want, they want like that sort of like negative reaction because they see you doing something positive. People trying to jump in and sort of dampen your clear happiness, and people like that shit, especially on social media. So like, just keep doing what y'all doing, man. Y'all doing a lot of positive stuff. There's a lot of people rooting for y'all, including myself, and I'm pretty sure y'all see that support. So like, essentially what I'm saying is fuck all that other shit, man. Like,
appreciate it, man.
Just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Mm-hmm. By the way, if you want to hear more Andrew Thompson and your boy, you can also listen to us on the NWA podcast. We were on this week's episode, and also has a theme song by our man down there, Righteous Reg.
Yes, sir, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We are always representing somewhere, so just find us.
We're coming. Sorry if you might not like this guy or that guy over there, but we're everywhere. Just get used to it.
You can be blocked by Jericho, but we still out here, Jericho. You can block the whole game. Block me and Andrew too if you want. We still gonna be out here.
Nah, man.
Yeah. And hey, if you haven't gotten enough, here on youtube.com/Fightful, I will be here in a few more hours, reviewing Full Gear along with Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
And
man.
Yes. And so we'll be talking about Full Gear immediately after Full Gear later on tonight. There'll also be the broadcast of the Full Gear press conference as well with Tony Khan here on youtube.com/Fightful.
What time is it? Is it happening already? There's so much going on.
I know, right?
So much.
Just a few more hours. I don't know. As a matter of fact, what are y'all getting to eat? I mean, besides Reg, you're going to be
New Japan, baby.
Yeah,
about to be watching Okada, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time in the history of wrestling, do his thing, man.
Yes.
He was a part of the greatest wrestling match of all time, you guys.
I'm just waiting for that coin to drop.
With Kenny Omega.
It's happening. It's happening.
Oh, Tony Khan hinted at it after the show last night, after the HFO beat down Best Friends. Tony Khan came out and he was like, maybe you guys should bring the rest of Chaos.
He's all, please.
Can you imagine the pop where people hear the initial coin? Oh my god, it's good. That's gonna be one of them moments.
Someone asked me today, do I think they're gonna have a jet for him from here in San Jose over to there? I'm like, hey, you never know. Weirder things have happened.
I think if we see him, it'll be Wednesday. I don't think it'll be tonight. But yeah, I don't know.
I also thought it was pretty funny that my man Rocky came out with the chain. He did like a whole chaining day with Orange Cassidy. I was like, yo, what is this?
Hey, got to get that Rockefeller chain, bro. Drop it on me.
But all right, everybody. I want you all to have a safe, fun Saturday with pro wrestling and just enjoy it because it's going to be a great night. For Phil Lindsey, for Righteous Reg, for our dude, Andrew Thompson, I'm Will Washington. We will see you next time. Have a great day. Peace.